Well, I've got a little show for you. I'm going to start at the beginning with my dishes. These are some of the things I found in around Nashville and Franklin, Tennessee. Well, actually, these things were bought in Goodwills and thrift shops. And I'm rather pleased with what I found. I wasn't expecting to bring home a lot of things because I really don't have room for more dishes. So I'm going to start out this program with a follow-up on our trip. There was Jenny and her daughter Susan. There was me and my daughter Jan. This was what you call a mother-daughter trip. We've kind of convinced the girls that we need a mother-daughter trip once or twice a year, and we don't fail to remind them of this. So this time, our trip was to Nashville, and of course it covered my birthday as well. You know, nothing like killing two birds with one stone. On our way down, we stopped at every Goodwill and thrift shop we could find. And I'm going to show you this little table, this table right here. This is a table that's older than I am. Well, you already know how old I am. And I've got my baby picture taken by a door-to-door photographer. I'm sitting on this little table, and the photographer told my mother, I'm in a little calico dress that Mama made for me. She made most of our baby clothes. And she set me on this table in front of the living room window, and he took my picture and said it would be entered in a baby contest, a baby beauty contest. Don't leave that part out. Okay, he took my picture and my sister's picture, and of course my picture was better than hers. She may not agree to that, but I know better. And Mama forgot all about the pictures being taken. You didn't have to buy them. So she walked down Main Street. I think Main Street was the only street I had when we were living in Manchester, Kentucky. Daddy was building a courthouse there. So she's walking down the street holding our hands, and she comes to this door window, and there's a lot of picture frames in the window. Well, what is this? She stopped to look. One big 8x10 picture sitting right up front. Well, do I have to tell you whose picture that was? No, I'm sure I don't, but it was my picture. Do I have to tell you who won the baby beauty contest? Of course I won it. So, this little table at that time was stained dark, and Mama kept it all those years, and Mama was one of those women that you give her a can of spray paint, and in this case, it was kind of a willow green, between Kelly and willow green. And anything that would hold paint, Mama spray painted it. So the little mahogany table got painted too. And I decided, no, I didn't want to refinish it. I wanted to leave it just like it was when Mama painted it last time. Now, I love this little table, and I love it partly because my baby picture was taken on this table. Now, what we have here are a few things that I bought over the weekend, and I'm going to describe them to you. And I know there's not very much light on this table, but I think if I hold the pieces up one at a time, and I'm going to have to turn the camera around. You know what a problem I have doing that. I can't handle cameras too well. Someday I'm going to learn how to do my own photography. Someday. I'll let you know when that day comes. In fact, I don't think I'll have to let you know. You're going to notice the difference. Okay, let's start with, let me turn my camera around. I'm sitting in a chair because you know I injured my knee when I fell in Franklin. And you know that story already too. Whoops. Now I'm getting myself set up here. I want you to see what I'm going to show you. First thing, now this was when I went to the bash in Alabama. This isn't sitting right. Let's get this up a little higher. Okay. Gosh, my hair looks awful. This piece here is called Debutante Syracuse, Made in America. Bet you didn't think that was possible. You see how pretty it's got silver edging around it, and of course this is connected. This is the top part of my display. This is what you call layering. And the top piece. I'm going to set them aside one at a time. The next is your salad plate. Look at this. Isn't this gorgeous? I saw these and I said, oh, I got to have these. Now, these have a gold band around them and black. I think it's black. It could be brown or navy. Somebody else is looking at it, but I'm going to call it black. Okay, very, very pretty. And they're perfect for layering. I'm going to put it aside. The next plate, it was in a box of plate that still had the liners between them. In fact, I don't think they'd ever come out of the box. Look at that. Can't you see that at Christmas? And Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, any day of the week. This one is called Home. It's microwave proof. But now let me do it this way so that you can get a better view of the way it looks together. Isn't that beautiful? Both of them have the wide band. They both have the gold edging around it. That, you know, is going to make a beautiful table setting. Those were bought near Franklin. Of course, I had my little napkin and a charger. Now, you know, chargers are very popular now. I've got about a dozen different kinds, but I didn't have one like this. Isn't that gorgeous? And those are cutouts. What you see there is cut out. I think they're made of plastic because one of them was broken when I took them out, but that's all right. I don't ever have more than 4 people at my table anyway. But see how pretty that is? Now I'm going to try again so you can see it better. I'm going to put the red plate against the charger. What do you think? Pretty, isn't it? Now, I'm not going to put the black one on because knowing my luck, they'll end up in the floor. We'll just go with it the way it is. I'm going to put the charger back on the table. See this pretty? I don't know if my mother crocheted this or not. Oh, you can't even see it. Why am I trying to describe something you can't see? Anyway, I'll turn it around. No, I better not. I'll mess it up again. I'm going to show you what I bought. Now, I looked at that and I said, that's got to be an old one. There were 8 of them. 8 of them. I said, Jan, look this up. She always looks up things for me on her iPhone to see if there are any lookalikes and what pattern they are, who made them. This is Anchor Hocking. I said, I knew. Because I remember when I was a kid, Mama's good glasses looked like this. This is what we drank iced tea out of. See how tall it is? I just felt so privileged when Mama let me drink iced tea out of a glass like this. Of course, the first thing Jan says, you don't need any more glasses. Where are you going to put them? I'll just move the others over. I've got room for them somewhere. But I've got to have these glasses because they look like the ones Mama had. So I came home with 8 iced tea glasses. And I think they're beautiful to me because there's a remembrance involved with this glass. Let's see what else I've got on the table. Of course, there's always a candle. There's a butter pat. Now, this butter pat belongs to my Independence ironstone dishes. They're the ones I've told you about, and I'm going to go through them one of these days and show them to you piece by piece because there are 49 different pieces to this set of china. And this was my first collection. I started collecting Independence ironstone because there are different patterns on each set that you see. And of course, the ones I started with were the solid white, which is, to me, the favorite. Okay, let's see what else is there. This is a pewter teapot or coffee pot. I thought, well, I'll use it. I'll put a few flowers in it. And they look pretty good. They dress up a table. You always need some flowers on a table. So I'm going to blow out my candle so I don't burn my house down. I have to bring it to me because I have trouble getting up and down. In fact, I hurt my knee enough that, well, let's put it this way. At my age, you had trouble getting up and down anyway. You sit down, you need something to help you get back up again. Now with the damaged knee, and it's getting better. Don't start giving me advice on what I should do, because it's getting better. So I'm going to raise this up a little bit. I got something in front of my, let's see. Okay, I'm going to sit back kind of comfortable like if I can. This is an old rocking chair. My daddy broke it one time. See those little spindles in the back there? Have you ever watched an old man scratch his back? Well, my dad, he wore the paint off of the door facings in our bedroom, living room, because he'd lean back. He was a big man. He'd lean back, and he'd go like this and scratch his back. Well, he did the same thing when he sat in this rocking chair. See the spindle? He did the same thing. He rubbed his back and forth. And one day, it didn't work. Let's see which side. This one right here. Little place right here. That's where it popped right out of that strip of wood. Mama had to take it and get it repaired. But I love this rocking chair because my daddy sat in it. Now, where was I? What was I talking about? I've lost track. Wish I could run it back and see where I was with my story. Oh, I can't think even what I was talking about. Talking about all my dishes, all my china, my little pewter thingamajig. Oh, I know what it was. I was talking about my knee. It's getting better. But my couch is one of those that kind of cushy. So when I start to get up, I have to use my hand to push. And those hands go in so deep into those cushions, I think I'm never going to get off the couch. That's all there is to it. Now, that's bad enough, but I don't know if I'll tell you this or not. It's worse when you're in the bathroom. You know what it's like trying to get up off a toilet when you can't get your weight on your feet? I know if I was building a house right now, I'd have that plumber and the carpenter in the bathroom putting up bars on each side of the toilet. There'd be one close enough on the wall in front of me that I could reach up and get hold of. And then I'd have something down beside me where I could push. I'd have a lot of extra help in the bathroom when I try to get up off that toilet. Now, I guess it's okay to talk about things like that. After all, that's part of nature. Isn't that, don't they always say, let nature take its course? Well, nature doesn't take its course when I'm trying to get up off that seat. It takes a while. And this knee's going to have to start getting better real fast because I'm getting a little irritated with it so much for nature taking its course. I came back home, got the car, the car that I had to replace. I got a Sonata. The hottest day of the year so far. And it's been pretty cold as far as I'm concerned. Hottest day of the year, I went out in my Sonata and I'm trying to turn the air conditioner on. It won't blow anything but hot air, and I'm getting so hot. So I start rolling the windows down. I got push-button windows, That's one of the nicest things you can have in a car, push-button windows. So I'm trying to pull the windows down, and oh my goodness, that wind is so strong, it's blowing hair right off my head. I couldn't stand it. So I had to roll the windows back up. And it was just too hot. So I rolled the windows back up. I spent my time on that push button going up and down, up and down, up and down. Because it was too hot. I had to open the window. Too windy, had to close the window. My car is now at the mechanics, being worked on. I'm getting a new air conditioner in my car. Now, there's one thing I have learned, and I'm thankful for, is air conditioning. You know what it's like when you're too hot. I wonder how my parents lived through those days when you didn't even have a window fan. The only thing you could do was open the windows and hope the screens kept the bugs out. Yes, thank you, Lord, for air conditioning and for the person that had invented it. I just wish I was as rich as he was. Let me think what else. I don't know anything else to tell you. I just want you to know we had a really good time on our trip, but they're going to be slowing down a little. I don't have the stamina anymore. Don't know where my next trip will be. It might be a day trip. Go to lunch somewhere in another town. I like to go to lunch in unusual different places. I'm getting tired of going through the drive-thru at Kentucky Fried Chicken. That gets old too, but they know me now, and they serve me good chicken. But it wouldn't match the chicken my mama used to make. Now, you know I have to brag about my mama's chicken. Don't you brag about your mama's chicken, too? We all do. We all do. Our mamas did everything better than anybody else. But I've gotten where I kind of like KFC. You know that's my hometown, don't you? He's from the same town I'm from. He wasn't as great as some people think he was. We got to know him better than everybody else did. Well, everybody got a backside to him, but I'll let you discover that for yourself. I don't want to be the one to break the news to you that he wasn't perfect. Okay, I've rambled. Oh, I wanted to show you something. What did I do with it? I kept wondering, whatever happened to that glass egg that I had? Now, you know what glass eggs are used for. They used to put the glass eggs like this. They used to put them in the hen nest to get the hen to lay more eggs. Hens like to be sitting on eggs already in their nest. So I happen to have this glass egg I've had for years and years. So the other day I was thinking, whatever happened to my glass egg? I'd forgotten about having it. And it just so happened, one of my subscribers commented something about one of my videos. And in that video, I showed this egg. And when I knew I had shown it on one of the videos, but I wasn't going to go through 94 videos to find out where that egg was. That egg was down in one of my china pieces. Anything that's got any depth to it or has a lid on it, you better check there first, because there's going to be something there. It might be a pair of earrings. So I'm still searching for a package of my hearing aid batteries. I bought a whole package of them because they were cheaper at Sam's. That was a year and a half ago. I still haven't found those hearing aid batteries, so that was a real good bargain. So here's my glass egg. I used to be fascinated by these things. So, and I don't know if you can find them anymore or not. Look at it, isn't that pretty? So this time I think I'm gonna write a little note on the wall right by the door facing. Glass eggs in the English Abbey china bowl. That ought to remind me where I put it. Now I'm looking for my quarters. I got to do my laundry. We have a big, nice laundry in our basement. It's got black and white check floors, and it's got bright yellow walls, and it's a nice place to just go sit down there and watch TV while you do your laundry. Boy, wouldn't my mother love that when she was using that old Ringer washing machine. She'd have just given her eye teeth to know that someday she would be doing her laundry with quarters. Yeah, takes 7 quarters to do a load of laundry, and then you have to use 7 more quarters to dry your laundry. 14 quarters for one load. But it's worth it to me. Grab that stuff out of there, put it on a hanger, and stick it in the closet, and you're finished. Yeah, times are better than I give credit to when I get to thinking about it. Those old times weren't all that good. And I used to help Mama do her laundry. We had 2 or 3 big long lines in our backyard. One, you know, they were held up with big long poles. You put a nail in the end of the pole and you'd push that clothesline up, and that nail held it, and the pole went all the way to the ground. So that kept your sheets and things from falling on the ground while they were drying. My sister and I, when we went to school in the mornings, we went out the back door, down the back steps, and across the backyard to the path that took us to the next street when we were getting ready to go to school. Now, the upper end of those clotheslines was a really long line. We walked right by that post that held up the clothesline every day. Now, you know, I know you know this, it's bad luck. If you go around one side of that post and the other person goes around the other side of the post, you both have to go around the same side of that clothesline post if you don't want to have bad luck. Well, I would go around the upper side. A sister'd come along behind me. She'd go around the other side. She'd do it every time just to spite me. I would turn around, come back, and go around the same side she did, but not without a few words under my breath. Yeah, that's what the clothesline post was good for. It's keep us in line and not having bad luck. Don't know why I thought of that, but I'll bet you did the same thing. You know, like you don't let a black cat walk across in front of you, and you don't walk under a ladder. I don't remember having that much bad luck doing those things, but I guess eventually the whatever fate was going to be caught up with me. But I don't believe that stuff anymore. I don't think anybody believes that stuff anymore, so we may be in trouble. I have gotten so many comments on my videos that I am absolutely, I don't know the word to use. You people, I didn't know there's that many good people in the world. And thank goodness they're on my side. You have been so kind. And I have to admit, today I got a message from one of the ladies. She'd read where I had fallen and hurt my knee and how embarrassed I was by someone seeing me fall. She told me her story, and I want her to know that I could visualize her story, her accident. I knew exactly what she was talking about, and I thought her story was hilarious. So if you've got some stories like that where you've fallen spread eagle on the sidewalk or right in front of your front door and people walking on the sidewalk see you fall, and along comes, they're like ants coming from an anthill. They're coming to you to help you. And you're thinking, oh, please, 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 go away, go away. I don't want anybody to see me. Well, one of these days I'm gonna do a series of spread eagle stories, because I've fallen enough. And so far, no broken bones. Yeah, I've got good genes. My whole family had good genes. My sisters, 6 sisters. I was going to tell something about one of my sisters. That was actually before I started this one, that was the story I was going to tell, and I forgot what it was. So I just went on You got to listen to me ramble. I wish I could remember the story I was going to tell. But when I think of it, I'll put it on video. I'm not through. You got a lot more stories you've got to listen to. And I hope you can stick with me that long. My sister says, you need to smile more. You need to show a lot of expression like they do on the cooking shows. Well, if I'm going to be cooking, I'm not going to be laughing. That's a fact. I'm just going to be lucky if I can get out of the kitchen with a successful dish. So that's why I'd rather tell these stories than to show you how to cook. Everybody knows how to cook. Everybody knows how to boil water. That's the first thing you learn to do, is how to boil water. And the second thing you learn is when to turn the burner off. Yep. That's it. I'm going to take a nap in a little bit, and then if the mechanic calls, he's going to bring my car to me, and I can get out and run around some. It's supposed to be getting warmer, folks. I don't know where you live, but I think even in Florida they're having cold weather. So we'll get through this spring weather and on into summer, and I'll get to sit outside for the nice breeze, watch the people walking by. You have a good day, and I'm going to quit rambling. And you don't even have to watch all this if you don't want to, but I get too late now, isn't it? You've already seen it. 31 minutes. I'm finished. How about you? I'm going for my Dr. Pepper now. You get you something to drink before you watch this the second time. Thank you. Bye-bye.